Hello and welcome to my part 5 of Let's Play Code Vein, part 5. Let's get started. Today we're going to explore the first half of the next area. You'll want to go to the park ruins. And when you approach the statue at the right angle, it'll say, descend ladder. You'll have to press the X button to interact. Follow that ladder up, and you'll see a cutscene.
So, every spring we've found so far leads back to here. Come on, let's head in. The source can't be far off.
You'll want to follow this long tunnel out to the end. Climb this ladder. Now, a lot of new players who start for the first time miss this, but there's a little shelf along the wall here you can follow over. You'll get a plasma cartridge times 5, and the depths map, Flood of Impurity. For those who don't know, maps like that can be accessed from the home base by talking to Davis next to the radio. And here we are. Sacred Cathedral of Blood. Excuse me. The Cathedral of Sacred Blood. My bad. Right, we're gonna save at this mistal, and then head on. This area is gonna have a slight increase in difficulty curve, and I do not recommend going for the good ending your first playthrough, mainly because there are a couple invasions in this area that can be pretty rough. We're gonna go this way. Yeah, if you look, that's a pitfall. But there's an item on the other side, and we'll get that later. Probably around the second or third playthrough. Ooh, that one snuck up. That took me by surprise. Forgot that one was in here. Just a sec. Gotta check something. Alright, and since we're doing the bad ending, there is no need to get any of the vestiges in this area. I was backtracking, my bad. Alright, we'll follow this over. There's a glowing mark up here, but let's be careful because there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of pitfalls. This place basically has no reference to location because everything in the general area, as you can see, looks identical. And to top it all off, it's like a huge maze in which direction is nearly impossible to find. Any sense of direction you can gather collapsing the further you go in. Alright. Make sure I'm not missing any enemies. Alrighty. There's a guy right there. Pungent cheese times 1. There we go. As for those fellows that climb up those cliffs, if you hit them before they get all the way standing, they'll usually fall right back off. The dog-faced ladies, like I call them, are pretty easy to take out, provided you ambush them fast enough. Alright. There we go. I'll have to heal again. And we're going to kill this guy up here. And then go over here and proceed to open up a shortcut. This will make navigation of the area much easier later. Alright, you want to slide down. And I know, but it's not. You can actually fall down here safely.
How's this? No harm in being prepared.
Roublet Piercer +4. And then you want to fall down here. Purify the rotten missile. And gain a section of the map. No, I'm filming. It's fine, I got it paused for a second. Did you need anything? Oh, okay. Thank you. Alright, we're back. Impulse Anchor +4. That's actually a very good hammer. It does reasonably okay amounts of damage. We'll return here in a bit. Assuming this other direction isn't the right way. And it is not. Curious Novelty ×1. Lost Shard ×1, Queen Steel ×1. And there we go. First, or rather second, Mistle of the area. I recommend leveling as much as you can up to the middle point of this area because there'll be a boss, and while his attacks are not exactly hard to read, they can hit very, very, very heavily. And it's quite easy to make a mistake and get pegged or even clipped. So it's still better to have as much survivability as you can.
Bring it any time.
Alright, Lost Shard M ×1. Clean steel times 1. Shit. Okay, for future reference, don't go in there guns blazing, like I just did.
No harm in being prepared.
Lost shard times 1. L. We're going to... in preparation for... That area there can be quite rough. The idea, though, is if you're playing a tank build, is to take the hit while guarding and try and corral them into a manageable position. There's a reason I fought that one instead of avoiding it. You can open up a shortcut from this side, allowing easy access back over.
No harm in being prepared.
Alright, you're gonna want to fall down here. And then quickly reduce this guy's HP.
I can't die here like this.
That won't matter for this playthrough because I'm doing the bad ending. I just simply picked it up because it was there. gonna go down this way. Also try and stick to my path of travel as closely as possible if you're following along, because this particular area can be very, very easy to lose your way. If you can successfully take him down, you'll gain access to a regen activation factor. This will increase the potency of your heals using your regen ability, recovering more HP per use. Mark of Honor times 1. Also, when using Dragon Lunge, if you position yourself just right when you activate it and time it properly, the enemy's attack will strike under you while you're in your jumping animation, making you invulnerable to the swing for just at that moment, allowing you to basically take no damage. These videos are probably going to be quite long from here on out, because from here on out each area will take longer and longer to complete. So I apologize everyone, but it's unavoidable. If you're trying to unlock that area there, all you have to do is position yourself right here, drop down, you get that, it's a chemical light times 4. And then you want to fall down right here. Follow this path forward, make a right up the stairs, and then another right, and there will be a lever you can pull. This will give you fast access to that particular area later in the level. Or if you're just returning for whatever reason. Alright, and you want to drop down there. Can't remember if it's this lever. Alright, you want to pull that lever. And then you want to pull this lever. This will open up another pathway with quite a few pitfalls, so you want to be careful. Okay, so don't try and fall off there, it's a trap. If you try and fall off there, you'll fall directly into a hole. I made the mistake one time, and yeah, you can imagine how that went.
How's this?
Mobility enhancer. Old world material ×1. More of the map. You want to take this ladder up, and it'll pop up, and it'll pop out up over here. Ambush. The dog-faced ladies with the shield are usually easier to deal with if you ambush them beforehand. A fair fight usually doesn't end very well. Can't remember what that item is, but I do know that I feel like I should be grabbing it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Could just be my inner pack mule coming out. I have a tendency to hoard items. Lost shard medium ×1, drain activator ×1. If you're wondering why well, here, I'll go show you why. Unless, of course, I'm wrong about the location. My bad. I guess I'm wrong about the location it pops out at. Alright. And we're gonna go this way. Pull this lever to open a shortcut. And just to show you, it pops out over here. Alright. That's all you can really get from going that direction. I was simply going to avoid it, but it's not as if it doesn't give something back for doing so. Anyway, we're gonna go up this ladder again. You'll want to circle around and enter through this doorway. Interact with that mistle. And this is the part where it becomes dangerous and tedious. To a startling degree, quite quickly.
No harm in being prepared. How's this?
And the reason it becomes dangerous and tedious is because if you don't drop off at exactly the right point, it is very, very easy to die. Alright. You want to pull this, which will open the door down there. And then what you want to do is go over here and kill the big guy right here. They're fairly easy to stagger, but they hit quite hard. Alright, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fall down here. This pretty much just goes in a checkerboard pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then once you've hit the 4th platform, you can simply stop and enter through the doorway. Purify this rotten mistle. Hit this lever. And then hit this switch. Go through here. You'll want to fall about right there. Don't worry about the damage, it happens. There's quite a few shortcuts you can open over at this point, actually. There's an item you can grab by falling down here. And we'll go ahead and grab this. Of course, this will most likely extend the time it takes us to get back to where we came from. But it's well worth it. That Night Thorn +4 can be useful in some circumstances, especially if you're an adventurous fellow like me and like to experiment with builds. Alright, you want to line it up and fall about right there. Careful not to fall off the edge. It's a good way to lose all your haze, that's for sure. I've done that before. Alright. You want to fall off right there. And follow up. If you're wondering, that is simply a secondary way to get up there. Alright, now comes the tough part. Once we get up here, we'll want to open that door. And there'll be two enemies. One will try to ambush you as soon as you get in. The other one will come from an angle. This can be quite difficult for new players. But what you kind of want to do is corral them so that they're not all in the same place. And then you want to pull this lever. I forgot to do something. Okay. You want to fall down here. Or rather, you could have done this while I was doing other stuff earlier. But I forgot. Not that that's a good excuse. And what you want to do is, you want to fall down here. You want to follow this ledge over to this ladder. You can grab an item right here, Awake MJ212. And then you want to pull this lever. You see that ladder over there? Don't forget to kick that down. It makes subsequent playthroughs later a lot easier. Alright, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the mistle over there, fight our way through once more. Plus.
Bring it any time.
Alright, this guy. Okay, so most of his attacks are extremely easy to read, and quite a few of which, when you first fight him, if you pay close attention, you'll notice that they actually leave him quite winded for a few seconds. You want to capitalize on that hard, because you get very few attempts to damage this guy in between his attacks in the second phase. Tearing through his HP bar as fast as possible to get to the second phase and doing as much damage before he can go Super Saiyan is the fastest way to succeed in this fight. You see what I mean? His attacks don't do a lot of... his attacks are not very tricky to dodge. It can just be a bit awkward to recognize. Okay, this is when it starts to get harder. Ooh. As you can see, he's like twice as fast in this phase, and can tear through your stamina bar like it's nothing. Shit. Oh, Yakumo heal. There we go. There we go. And then once you beat him, you'll get the Obliterator's Axe. Alright, and that is it for my part 5 of Let's Play Code Vein. And when we start this back up, part 6 will be within a memory fragment, starting up at a mistle in the next area. Well, never mind. I think I will go ahead and just do this too. That way I can keep it nice and smooth.
Many of your comrades were swallowed up by the Queen's miasma, lost the very essence, became puppets of Game. Some of you had to fight former friends who had joined the ranks of the lost, but you still managed to return home. I salute each and every one of you. So, keep the faces of your loved ones ever in your thoughts. Remember the comrades who have been reduced to ash. I, Gregorio Silva, pledge this to you. When this war ends, the ones left standing will be us! Fight at my side, and we will bring this hell to an end!
Remember to keep your hearts covered. There's no coming back if you get hit there. Accursed beast!
Welcome back. How are you feeling? Do you know where you are? You were killed 2 days ago, and now you've returned. Just relax. Here, could you fill out this medical form for me? I'd like to confirm some things, if that's all right. How much do you remember about yourself? No signs of frenzy or major dysfunction. You appear to be in excellent shape. The damage to your heart had me a bit worried. But you're surprisingly resilient. Still, if anything feels off, be sure to let me know right away. We revenants are immortal creatures. However, if you become one of the lost, you'll be beyond any hope of salvation. Here. The Queen's miasma has been growing thicker. When you're fighting, just remember to hang on to this, no matter what. Looks like it's time for the meeting. I know you're probably not feeling up to it. But it'll be over soon enough. Hang in there.
How's your little brother?
Louis hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah, there's no sign of rejection, but it's still worrying.
Finally awake, are you? New kid. You're partnered up with me. You fought the Queen the other day. I've heard you've got some skills. Sounds like you might be useful. We're headed out soon. Are you ready? We're gonna use every bit of your power. There's a report that the Queen broke through our defensive grid and is headed this way. However, our foe was also hurt pretty badly in the attack. This is our chance to finally turn the tide and crush her. Just be sure not to drink the Queen's blood. Too many of us have joined the ranks of the lost after their bodies rejected it. Watch your backs out there. Got it? Right. Looks like it's time for the party. Let's be sure to give our guests a warm welcome.
Alright, and after those cutscenes, we're just gonna follow this out until we find the Mistle. There'll be a freezing cartridge ×1 right there.
Oh, look at that. This is lucky. It's a type of medicine. Spill a drop on that. Don't worry, we won't need our masks here. This is one of the products of the Queen's power before she frenzied. That medicine is made from the Queen's blood. It cleanses the area of miasma and aids regeneration by knitting dispersed flesh back together. Even the techniques used to make our masks are thanks to the Queen's plans. She was a revenant, just like us. She shared our vision of a world where everyone could live in safety. But unlike us, she had the potential to rise to even greater heights. She was consumed by her own exceptional power, and turned into a demon with an unending lust for blood. Eat or be eaten. If those are our only two options, well then, I choose to eat. We have limited medicine, so use it wisely.
Alright, and that is it for the Let's Play Code Vein Part 5. You all have a good one, and bye-bye.